You know, we've gone from shelter in place and social distancing to what we're calling the new normal, but I'm not sure we've really even reached new normal yet. This is feeling a lot like the old normal of last spring when we all had to suddenly be in a remote teaching and learning environment. We're all eager for real time to be real again. And I greeted you as we began with the wish that we could all be together now and looking at each other face to face and in a room and interacting with each other. That time will come back. Until then, I'm so delighted we have these kinds of technology platforms that let us at least continue to share ideas with one another. But along the way, we've discovered new tech tools and gained valuable skills to stay connected at a distance and learn at home. Children, parents, families, educators, we've all embraced some new tools. And if you look at the images that I selected for this slide, you see all of them are video chat images, and even with very, very young children. And I think that's because I really do believe we've come to rely on these tools to keep us connected at this time when we're supposed to be socially and physically distanced from one another, faces behind masks and not being out in the world in the way that we're used to. These kinds of technologies, this kind of screen time has really become a lifeline, in my opinion, for all of us. And that's the good news. We've had these tools, we've learned how to use them. Now let's continue to use them, embed them deeply in our teaching and learning as we go forward, because we've realized that while this conversation we're having right now via this technology is not the same as it would be in a room together, it still provides some value and still provides some sense of connection to one another. And so I think that's really important. You know, the little phrase at the bottom, being face-to-face at school will always be better than face-to-screen during remote learning. I've been doing distance learning in this field for my whole career, coming up on 30 years. And I believe in the value of distance learning and our ability to teach teachers about young children and child development via technology. But it never will be better than being together face-to-face. So I know you're eager to get back to your classrooms. We're eager to have children and parents and families reconnected in a different way. Along the way, COVID-19 did reveal some digital inequalities that impact access and participation. We do have to take a moment to reflect somberly about some of that. We have to address the digital inequalities and support families who found themselves being underconnected, not able to fully participate, not able to fully contribute. And I want to point out those two words because they're important as well. Participation is the ability to log in and look at what's going on. Contribution is the ability to really engage and involve. And so there are deeper levels of this remote learning that we need to get to as well. And some families have been locked out of that. We need to help families experience the benefits of using tech tools for communicating, connecting, working, and living across the whole lifespan and across their lives. So we're all stuck at home. We're all trying to do all this work. We couldn't be doing it without technology. We need families to really join us in this celebration of screens as lifelines. And tech comes with lots of challenges too, of course. But the upside to me right now, I think, is that it's kept us together. We need to make sure every family has what I call the big three. They need a connected device, reliable access to broadband internet, and digital skills to go along with that. So again, you go back to the first comment about underconnected. Missing any of those means that the family, the parents, the child cannot participate fully. We need to help parents as remote learning facilitators who last spring suddenly found themselves in the role of being your partner in the educational endeavor with their children at home. And they may not have felt so good about that. They may not have felt so ready for that. And so how do we help them continue to feel confident, competent about doing that? And then we need to promote digital literacy so adults and children can evaluate the source and reliability of information presented online. You know, at this time of the year when we're getting ready for a big election, when we're dealing with the pandemic, when we're dealing with back to school and what that may mean to you, to your children, to your families, and across the country, we're dealing with wildfires in the West. We really need to understand the news that we're getting and be able to discern what is right and what is not in that kind of news. And that's that digital literacy piece that we often don't get to in this conversation.